There's a strange thing in the sky today, and the sky is a funny colour, but it's a very nice colour. But it's just nice to see a bit of sunshine at long last. By God, December was glum, and it was also very wet, and January started very wet too. But we're now at the start of a dry spell. But I've not been out at all really this January, not been well enough, and today I do feel well enough to come and try and find a little lady. Well, that little lady is the harvestman Liboonin species A, and in particular the individual that was present on these southern walls here of Worksop Priory back in the middle of December when I last came here, and I was hoping that she would see it through into the new year in 2024. I will check all around, but if that Liboonin species A is still going to be present, she's not going to be far from where we found her a couple of weeks or so ago. But it's important that I do have a look along the whole of this southern section and then go round the other three sides of the priory. We've had decent weather despite lots of rain. There's been no cold weather, so unless she's drowned in all the rain that we have had, there's a good chance that she could still be here. But they are scavengers, so they require finding food that have been left by spiders. So we'll see if she's here. But it was along this section where she was only a couple of weeks ago, and Liboonin species A and other harvestmen that have frequented these walls over the years often like to tuck themselves into any kind of recess that they can get. And this is the best place for a harvestman to remain long-lived, because there's a little bit of warmth in the bricks and the stonework, but there's no sign of the female that I'm after. I've come away from the walls of the priory for a bit of quiet peace and just enjoying the sunshine, a bit of warmth in that sunshine. It's a magnificent building, Worksop Priory, and it's been great for myself and Dilys when she was alive that we had easy access to Worksop Priory and the walls of Worksop Priory once we'd found Liboonin species A on here in 2012. And of course we've recorded all harvestmen here ever since, and so we've got a good array of data now that would suggest that maybe something has happened. Maybe Liboonin species A and the numbers here has had an effect on two species which were regarded as invasive anyway, and could potentially cause upset and disruption, potentially the demise of UK's native species. But the only native harvestman we get on here now is the large and impressive Pilioperatinus. However, that's disappeared. Pilioperatinus disappeared from the priory walls in 2017. All of a sudden, after years of recording the species here, it failed to turn up in any subsequent survey for Liboonin species A. The only place where we did used to record it was on the walls of the gatehouse here at the priory, but never again has it graced the walls of the Priory itself. Apilio peritinus is the only really regular sighting of a native species of harvestman that we've had on the walls of Worksop Priory. There have been instances, say almost single instances, of other UK native species, but Apilio peritinus was the only one that regularly turned up. The other two species to be recorded here were Apilio canistrini, another invasive species which was always suspected as likely to drive out Apilio peritinus. It hasn't done here, but it may well be doing that at home where I live. There's signs of an increase. In fact, canistrini had a great year this year, whereas peritinus didn't. The other species that was recorded here is also another invasive non-native species, Dicranopalpus ramosus. If we look at this chart showing the numbers of the various species over the years here, of course the dates of the years are showed at the top, going from 2012 right up until the latest data as of at the end of 2023, and you can see how numbers of Liburnum species A rose, and especially between 2014 and 2018, numbers highest in 2016 and 2017, but post 2018 there has been a dramatic decline in the numbers of Liburnum species A. That may well have coincided with Liburnum species A's move away into pastures new, and it's been found now right in the centre of Worksop and just the other side of the centre of Worksop. It must be here and other parts of the town as well, but remain as yet undiscovered. But someone's likely to have a relative beard of harvestmen on their house walls at some time during the coming summers. When we compare the numbers of the three other species, even the two invasive species, the canistrini and Dicranopalpus ramosus, have equally as been affected as Apilio peritinus seems to have been. Peritinus was regularly seen with maximum counts of between 2 and 5, but it's not been recorded here since 2017 on the walls of the Priory. Apilio canistrini was also regularly recorded up until 2016, but there's been one 2021 record since. And Dicranopalpus ramosus, a species which on one occasion did as an eyewitness to male rolling up at the side of a large aggregation of Liburnum species A, and promptly made them all split. One harvestman shifted, I think, the best part of over 100 Liburnum species A. And yet, if Liburnum species A is that terrified of ramosus, how come ramosus isn't all over these walls? Although it is more of a tree or arboreal specialist really, but it'll occur on walls. And Dicranopalpus ramosus has only ever been recorded here singly, and that's very surprising. And it occurred every year up until 2016, as you can see, and then between 2016 and last year, a single record from 2020. So just looking at the chart, it's plausible to assume from that the occurrence of Liburnum species A here has been to the detriment of Apilio peritinus, Apilio canistrini and Dicranopalpus ramosus. But more work needs to be done. But if I was to compare the fortunes of the latter three species at home, then Apilio canistrini showed some signs of being the dominant species, but as I say, I do get Apilio peritinus at home still, and Dicranopalpus ramosus is some quite occasional in my garden. So potentially yes, Libuna species A is detrimental to native harvestmen, but it's also detrimental, if indeed it is, to those species regarded themselves as being invasive. See, there's more to me just coming and gawping and counting numbers of Libuna species A on the walls of Worksop Priory than what you might think.